a vault. Massive, impenetrable. Inside a king's ransom. Stacks of gold bars, untouched, unseen for decades. This isn't a scene from Indiana Jones, it's Fort Knox. For over half a century, the United States Bullion Depository has held a treasure trove of gold, 147 million ounces, worth over $250 billion at today's prices. It's a staggering amount, and it hasn't been independently audited in over 50 years. This begs the question, what's really going on inside Fort Knox? Why is this massive stockpile seemingly off limits? Is it a strategic reserve, a relic of a bygone era, or is there something more, something we're not being told? The last time anyone outside a select few government officials laid eyes on this gold was in the 1970s. Since then, silence. No public audits, no independent verification, just the government's word that it's all still there. The US government claims this lack of transparency is about security. Fort Knox is one of the most secure facilities on Earth. Armed guards, impenetrable walls, and enough firepower to repel a small army. But some experts argue that this level of secrecy is overkill. After all, other countries with large gold reserves, like Germany and Switzerland, conduct regular audits. They understand the importance of transparency, of assuring their citizens that their national wealth is accounted for. The United States, however, remains steadfast in its silence. This has led some to believe the gold serves a different purpose, not just as a financial asset, but as a strategic one. Could it be that this untouched gold acts as a silent deterrent? A physical representation of American economic might, a warning to adversaries? Or is it something far simpler, a lack of political will to address a potential powder keg? The official narrative from the US Treasury is simple. The gold is safe, secure, and untouched. They argue that the existing security measures are more than adequate. They point to the fact that there has never been a successful attempt to breach Fort Knox. Furthermore, they claim that moving the gold for an audit would be unnecessarily risky and expensive. Better to leave it where it is, a silent sentinel of American prosperity. But critics aren't buying it. They argue that security and cost are poor excuses for a lack of transparency. The American people, they say, have a right to know what's happening with their gold. The lack of independent verification only fuels suspicion. It allows conspiracy theories to flourish and erodes trust in the very institutions that are supposed to be safeguarding our national wealth. The Treasury's wall of silence fueling conspiracy and distrust. The United States Treasury's silence on Fort Knox has created a vacuum, and into that vacuum has rushed a torrent of speculation, conspiracy theories, and outright distrust. Some believe the gold is gone, sold off in secret to cover up government deficits or fund covert operations. Others believe the gold is still there, but not in the quantities the government claims. They point to the lack of audits as evidence, suggesting that the true amount of gold in Fort Knox is far less than advertised. Still others believe the gold is being held hostage, leveraged by foreign powers or shadowy organizations as a bargaining chip in some grand geopolitical game. These theories, while often outlandish, highlight a fundamental truth. When governments operate in secrecy, they breed suspicion. And suspicion, once sown, is notoriously difficult to uproot. What lies beneath? Exploring the theories surrounding Fort Knox. One of the most persistent theories surrounding Fort Knox is that the gold has been leased out. In this scenario, the United States government has secretly loaned out a significant portion of its gold reserves to bullion banks and other financial institutions. These institutions then sell the gold on the open market, depressing the price and profiting from the difference. This theory, while lacking concrete evidence, has gained traction in recent years, fueled by the opaque nature of the gold market. Another theory posits that the gold in Fort Knox is not the same gold that was originally deposited. Over the years, it's been suggested that the original gold bars, many dating back to the 1930s, have been swapped out with tungsten bars plated in gold. Tungsten has a similar density to gold, making it difficult to detect a fake without sophisticated testing. This theory, while seemingly far-fetched, plays on the fear that something sinister is afoot, hidden beneath layers of government secrecy. The price of deception, unraveling the potential fallout of missing gold. The implications of any of these theories proving true are significant. If the gold in Fort Knox is gone, leased out, or counterfeit, it would represent a colossal scandal. It would shake the foundations of the global financial system. The United States dollar, long considered a safe haven currency, would plummet in value. Faith in the United States government, already strained, would erode even further. The the geopolitical ramifications would be seismic. The very fact that such scenarios are even conceivable speaks to the danger of government secrecy. When citizens are kept in the dark, when information is suppressed, it creates a breeding ground for distrust and fear. The longer the United States government refuses to address the concerns surrounding Fort Knox, the more damage it does to its own credibility. In pursuit of transparency, the urgent need for an open vault. The solution to the Fort Knox mystery is simple: transparency. The United States government must open the vaults, allow for independent audits, and prove to the world that the gold is still there. This is not about pandering to conspiracy theorists or undermining national security. It's about restoring trust, upholding accountability, and demonstrating a commitment to open and honest governance. The time for secrecy is over. The American people deserve to know the truth about Fort Knox, whatever that truth may be. The world is watching. The question remains: will the United States government finally shed light on this enduring mystery? Or will Fort Knox remain a symbol of secrecy, its true contents forever shrouded in doubt?